In our previous video, we took a deep dive into how an RFID module works, thoroughly examined the specifications of each pin, and finished it off by building a simple project to read information from a tag or card. So if you don't have any idea about RFIDs, check the previous video first, because in this video, we're diving deeper into the world of RFID technology. We'll create a hands-on project to explore how RFID door locks work, giving you a practical understanding of this powerful security tool. So without waiting, let's begin. Let's begin by exploring the components we need to complete this project. The most essential part for this project is the RFID reader module. We also need some LEDs, 220 ohm resistors, an active buzzer, and some jumper wires. And for microcontroller, you can use any type of Arduino that you want. Now let's move on to assembling the circuit step by step, ensuring each component is correctly placed and connected to build a fully functional system. We'll begin by connecting the power and ground pins from the Arduino to the module, ensuring a stable power supply and proper grounding for reliable operation. Also, don't forget that this module runs with 3.3 volts, not 5. Next step is to connect jumper wires from pin 9 through 13 of Arduino, which I'll then connect to corresponding pins of module. Now let's go to module. First, connect the power and ground pin. Next, connect the pin 9 of Arduino to RST pin of module. After that, connect the pin 10 of Arduino to SDA pin of module. Accordingly, connect the pin 11 of Arduino to MOSI pin of module, and the pin 12 of Arduino to MISO pin. And finally, the last pin is 13, which will be connected to the SCK pin. With the module now connected, we can proceed to assemble the alarm system for our reader, integrating it into the circuit to trigger alerts based on the module's output. We'll begin by connecting the LEDs. To do this, attach the long leg of each LED to the appropriate spots on the breadboard and connect the short leg to the ground rail. This will create a common ground for all the LEDs, ensuring a unified grounding system. The next step is to connect resistors to the long legs of the LEDs. This ensures current is properly limited, preventing the LEDs from burning out while maintaining safe operation within the circuit. Next, we can connect our buzzer as well. Now we can begin connecting the jumper wires. To keep things organized, I'll use the same color jumper wire for each corresponding LED, matching the wire color to the LED color for easy identification and troubleshooting. Also connect the ground wire as well, and then you can wire up the buzzer. I'll use pins 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the Arduino to control the 3 LEDs and the buzzer, assigning each pin to a specific component for precise control during operation. Now that our circuit is ready, let's begin to write the code for this project. Open the Arduino IDE and navigate to the File menu. From there, select Examples, then go to Custom Libraries. Locate and choose Read NU ID from the MFRC522 library to access the example code. And if you haven't installed the library yet, you can do so by searching MFRC522 and adding it. After opening the example, we are going to do some modifications to it and also adding our code to it as well. As a matter of fact, we use this example to only get the UID of the tags. On the right is the original example code, and on the left is the modified version that we'll be using. We'll compare these versions to implement the necessary changes and integrate our code. At first glance, you'll notice that we need to add our own variables to define the pins for the LEDs and the buzzer. Next, in the setup method, we will initialize our pins as output, and we will delete that 3 line, which is explanation. Now in our loop, we are going to need the first and second if statement, but we can delete the third and fourth one since one is to detect the type of tag, and the other one is to detect if the tag is same as the previous tag or not. Next, we will modify the for loop to retrieve the UID of the tag that has been read. You can also find the complete version of this code on my GitHub. The links are provided in the caption below. The next step is to print the UID we obtained to the serial monitor. This will allow us to view and use the UID data for further processing or verification later on. So we will not use the default prints, and also we don't need that else statement. Also, there are 2 methods defined at the end of the example, and you can delete them since we are not going to use them. Once we have the UIDs, we'll implement a decision-making process to verify whether the ID is correct. If the tag ID matches the predefined ID, we'll turn on the green LED and generate a buzzer tone to indicate a successful detection. You can create as many cases as you want. After setting up all the cases for correct ID matches, we'll add a final else statement to handle incorrect matches. In this case, we'll turn on the red LED and activate a buzzer tone to indicate a failed detection. Now everything is set, we can upload the code and see the results. In here, this tag is being detected as the correct one, and any other tags or cards that doesn't have the same UID will be detected as wrong. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.